They won't tell you this, but the milk never lands. It just keeps falling, like everything else we pretend to hold still. She's been pouring for centuries, her hands unchanged, her silence louder than invention, because it's always the quiet ones who carry the weight of time like a bowl they never filled. The bread is stale on purpose, because perfection is suspicious, and fresh things rot fastest anyway. Nothing ripens without bruising, whispers the pear beneath the table, but no one asks fruit how it feels. So she keeps slicing memories into crumbs, feeding ghosts who never left the kitchen. Did you think you were the only one pretending to be okay? That you were late to some invisible meeting where everyone else got instructions? They didn't. They just fold their panic into napkins and call it grace. Behind every smile is a thread unraveling slowly enough to wear as a scarf. You are not broken. You're just between definitions. Like a drawer that holds batteries and secrets. Functional chaos. And if the world feels too loud, maybe it's because your ears are tuned to forgotten frequencies. Look again at her face. Not sad, not serene. Just there. A soft refusal to explain herself. A refusal that feels like mercy. She knows what you know, that fine is a costume stitched from borrowed hours. There is no map, there is no summit, no end screen to congratulate you for arriving. Every morning is a myth reenacted in cereal bowls and mismatched socks, and sometimes surviving a Tuesday is more sacred than finding your purpose. There are no instructions for being human, only kitchens full of quiet, dust that forgets to land, and days that ache without asking why. She pours and pours and the light forgets its name. You've been taught to chase clarity, but what if it's the blur that holds you? Edges only hurt when they're sharp. Soft confusion can be a lullaby if you stop needing answers. And maybe that's why she pours so slowly. To remind you, not everything needs a reason to be beautiful. They say light enters through windows, but no one speaks of the warmth that leaks from old bread. That dull ache of repetition, folding laundry like you're rewinding time. Isn't it strange? How the smallest rituals carry the heaviest truths. She doesn't need applause. Her applause is the stillness, the knowing that someone will eat. There's something holy about wiping a counter, like drawing a line between chaos and forgiveness. But no sermon ever told you that God might be hiding in the sound of a faucet dripping at 3 a.m. Your ache is not failure. It's just a weather system passing through your spine. Melancholy isn't a warning sign. It's a lantern for those who walk slower. And if all you did today was breathe and not break, that's a rebellion worth repeating. This is for the ones who are tired of pretending to be fine, the ones who survived today without applause, the ones who feel too much and explain too little. There is a kind of magic in accepting the mess. You don't have to bloom every season. Some years you are just soil. And soil never apologizes for being dark. It only waits. Let the light spill crooked through your window. Let the dust dance like it has somewhere to be. Pour the tea that's gone cold 3 times already. Drink it like it's a potion for staying alive. The world won't end if your checklist doesn't. But it might begin when you stop chasing. The universe bends for the unnoticed, not because they ask, but because they don't. And somewhere inside you, a version of her exists, apron tied, hands steady, heart unspoken. There are particles of memory in that dust, each one a moment too small to remember but too sacred to erase. And when they dance, they whisper, "You were never meant to be still." You keep trying to solve yourself, like you're a puzzle missing its corner. But maybe you're a snow globe, meant to be shaken, meant to blur. And inside the blur, a kitchen, a woman, a silence that feeds. She's not waiting for anything, not redemption, not recognition. She just pours, again and again, like forgiveness without language. And the room listens, like it knows something you've forgotten. Have you ever wondered why stillness can feel like grief? Because peace doesn't announce itself. It just slips in when you're too tired to resist. Like warm light over old tiles, like yes hidden inside a sigh. No one has it together, not really. Even the moon forgets how full she is sometimes. And still, she shows up, carved, crooked, and entire. You don't need to bloom. You don't need to fix. You don't need to explain. Just watch, let it sink. You were always enough. Wholeness is not a place. It's a glitch in the mirror when you stop correcting your reflection. It's the comfort of being incomplete, together, with all the other beautiful messes. So let yourself be loved by the ordinary, by the cracked cup, the tilted frame, the quiet nothings. She doesn't look up, because she already knows that softness is strength, that repetition is ritual, that imperfection is the most honest art form. And maybe, just maybe, the milk was always meant to spill. Even silence has a scent, somewhere between burnt sugar and old pages, a hush that wraps around the ankles. You know it well. It lingers in rooms you've left but never really exited. She doesn't speak, not because she can't, but because some truths collapse when named. There's a language older than words, spoken only by steam and repetition. And right now, you are fluent in it without trying. You've mistaken stillness for stagnation, but a pond reflects best when undisturbed. And just because nothing moved, doesn't mean everything didn't shift. Sometimes the most important things arrive dressed as nothing at all. The world asks for progress, but your spirit longs for presence. And presence isn't shiny, it's chipped mugs, uneven breathing, the way your fingers forget why they opened. She knows that. That's why she keeps pouring, long after the cup is full. There are entire universes in overlooked moments, in the way socks cling to each other in the dryer, in the sound your fridge makes when it thinks no one's listening. Not everything sacred has an altar. Some things just sit, unnoticed, until you're soft enough to see them. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly as unfinished as you are supposed to be. And if no one told you this today, let this be the message folded into your palm. You don't need to be the version of yourself that's easy to explain. You don't need to shine to be seen. You don't need to make sense to matter. The dust still swirls. The light still bends for you. And somewhere she's still pouring. This wasn't closure. It was a pause, not a finish. The next film's already whispering and waiting for you.